The Poland Spring. I assume the inside is good stuff.
Well, most of our water, I think we have five new water.
Mm-hmm.
They're up for Celsius.
Okay, fine.
We don't care, whatever. Knock them on. Venture paying for Celsius. So, like, we don't voluntarily have to be buying this stuff just because one person price. And, yeah, but that they tell me not watching other people.
I tell Nachman Dov nothing. We'll see.
Okay.
Maybe people will show up.
No, well, no. Actually, Tuesday night he came, which is weird. Right. Wednesday night, just at the house is too topsy-turvy.
So what was so terrible about the Meraglim? They were scared. Could you blame people from being scared?
No, I mean the big land, scary giants.
They were scary. They were giants.
Mm-hmm. Anokim.
Huh?
Anokim. How do you say it?
Anokim, yes. They were Anokim. What do you want from them? What do you want from the Meraglim? Everyone's so upset at the Meraglim.
Exactly.
So why is everyone so upset at the Meraglim?
Yeah. Well, I mean, they didn't have an Amuna. I mean, that's kind of what it is, right?
Um,
Yeah.
that's true. They
And
didn't have
something.
any Amuna. Had they had
Yes.
Amuna and Bitochen, they wouldn't have been scared. They made themselves scared
Right.
because they looked at the natural equation of things. And they looked at that equation the way naturally it is.
Mm-hmm.
America said that there's a red line. If Israel goes into Rafah, it'll be terrible. America will withdraw all their support of Israel.
Now we're going to Lebanon. So,
Guess what?
so we really love that.
We went into Rafah and nothing happened.
Now we're just to
It was just big talk. They went in today?
No, last night.
They went in last night?
We knocked off one of the banks.
Uh, they have to knock off a few 100,000 of them, not one.
Yeah. But
Okay. So when we have that courage that we listen to Moshe Rabbeinu, we feel calm. See, like the picture you got over there, that picture, the Rebbe picture you got. It's a good picture
Yes.
to have in your room.
Ah, thank you for those. Mm-hmm.
Very good. Very good.
Thank
anybody else?
The Tzemach Tzedek, you see, the Tzemach Tzedek had a chosed.
Yelzan and Jason Bahara.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here.
Oh, Jason, how are you?
I'm good.
The party. Who's everybody? Good question.
Yeah. Benja, a copy for you.
Was it really intriguing? I don't know how yesterday is. They're not green yet.
Here. No, I gave you? Oh, no, that's from this morning.
No.
It's from this morning. Okay, let's read first in the Chumash. And then we'll
Read everything.
וילכו ויבואו על מוישה ועל אהרון ועל כל הדס בני ישראל ועמידו בפורם כדי שיפשו ועושים דבר וכל העדה וירם בלי הארץ. The Meraglim came back to Moshe, to Aaron, and they showed them, they came back and they showed them the fruits. And they said, we came to the land and it's dripping with milk and honey, and here's the fruit. She says that when you want to say a lie, you mix sprinkle in a little bit of truth. So that was true. It was a land of dripping of milk and honey. And then they went on. Like it's here, like you just said, that they said we saw the Anak, we saw the giants over there, and they started to get everyone scared. It's scary. Vayas kol of el Moshe. He made everyone quiet, and he drew their attention to Moshe. Ayomer, he said, "Ola nala, we will go." Rashi says, he said, if Moshe tell us we should make salamas, ladders, and go up to heaven, we'll climb up to heaven. We could do it. We cannot do it. They're too strong.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, I didn't learn anything yet.
No, but my question is, they saw they saw that the people were big. So why didn't they derive the thought of saying, if we live there, then
We'll also be big.
like that? They knew about the Nukum?
Yeah, they're complaining about Tanokim. They said they saw Tanokim there. The question is understanding each side. What was the argument of each side? So Vanoshim asher aluim amru lo nuchal alasam kechozikum imena v'yitzi dibres aretz asher Torah is of Yisrael lemar aretz asher avarna is lotzar is eretz echelus yeshvei. He said this land, it's a land that eats up its inhabitants. It actually says wherever they went, they saw there was a funeral going on. So they really should have understood that this was a miracle from the Eibishter, that wherever they went, people were dying in order for them not to realize that there's spies here. People cried. They complained. People Moshe waren op neem lifnei kol kal adas ben Israel. Yishuv benom kol ben Yefunim at Torah Masaretz koros b'deim. They tore their clothing. Emerald kal adas ben Israel. They said to the Yidden Lema, Aretz shevarnu v'loser es oisa toiva aretz ma'od ma'od. The land is really good. Chafetz bono Hashem behavior son al aretz azois. The Eibishter has a chafetz in us. He'll bring us to this land. When the son alone, he'll give it to us. Eretz asher hi zovas chol v'dvash. It's a land that's dripping milk and honey. B'Hashem altim roidu. Don't rebel against Hashem. And do not be scared in front of the people of the land, because they're like bread. The shade that's protecting them, just like the shade protects you from the sun, the shade that's protecting the people in the land is gone away from them. Hashem mitonu, and the Eibush is without al tirom, therefore you should not be scared.
What's the lashon kelachmeinu?
What's the lashon that Rashi says? What's the pshat? So Rashi says three things. Al timroidu means v'shuv ve'atem al tiro. Ki lachmeinuim noichlam kelechem. What's Rashi saying? That's what the pasuk says. Ki lachmeinuim. Yeah. What's Rashi saying? Sor tzilam maginim v'chazokim kshedim shememeisa. That the kshedim among them were meisa. Iyuv shahi megan aleim died. Davarachet tzilu shalmokim sorim aleim. The Eibish's protection went away from them. So every piece over here is a little shver. First, like the Gurayas, why is it Rashi saying Al Timroidu Val Tiro is not two separate things. Al Timroidu Val Tiro are the same thing. If you don't rebel, then you have nothing to be scared of. Who told Rashi that that's a pshat? So the Gurayas says Pirush Ein Timroidu Val Tiro Shnei Dvarim. Dem ken lo yotzarech loim Al Tiro. Shivgarama later Sortzina Malaim Al Pirush Al Timroidu Vim Tasukach Al Tiro. It's not the Rebbe says it's not mashma that way in Rashi, because Rashi would have brought, because what's bothering Rashi is usually Rashi quotes. If the pshat is that the Rashi thinks that Sorat Tzilam Alayim already you said the reason why not to be scared, so Rashi should have quoted the word Sorat Tzilam Alayim. There's all kinds of other mefarshim, but they all don't add up. That Rashi doesn't quote those words. So first, how does Rashi know that Altim Altiro means exactly the same thing and not two separate things? Second of all, what does it mean kilachmeinu noichlam kalech? What's a funny thing? What does it mean noichlam kalech? What is it actually saying bichlal? And then sort of tzilam, why does it actually have to give two pshatim? And within the first pshat, it's a psastir minei obey. Ikshedim shebehem means plural, and then he says iyuv. Iyuv is one man, not seven. He's not 10. So Kshedim Shebem Eisa Iu Shem Megalim. Which one is it? Is it Kshedim, which is a few people, or is Iu, which is one person? Which one is it? Okay. These are all the kashas Bekitza in Pshutei Shal Mikra. We're starting today a little late, so I'm making it Bekitza, the Kitza. The Rebbe gave two biurim on this, and then
we don't yesterday. How much lechem you have to put?
unless we have to
How much you
ham
have to get
Yes, Governor Melech. So Shaul said he has to bring him 100 orlas. He brought him 200 orlas. So he did mitzvah. Kenti Elonu.
Amen.
Kenti Elonu.
Amen.
Every one of those soldiers should bring back
200
$200, not one. So what's the pshat? So the Rebbe says like this. That the Rebbe says like there are two things. First of all, what's bothering Rashi is the Kolov and Yeshua speak twice. Once they say Ola Nalava Rashi. Why? Rashi says what it means. It says if Moshe Rabbeinu tells us to go into heaven, we can do that too. So what are you telling me we can't conquer Eretz Yisrael? With the koyach that the Moshe Rabbeinu told us to go, we can go. Okay. But then the people say, no, it's not true. And the Meraglim say all kinds of things. And then the Yeshua and Kol Binun speak back. In the beginning, they give an argument with one pasuk, and then they give three psukim. No, it's not true. Number one, it's okay. Number two, he says, three, why are they adding now? Why didn't they say before? And what are they adding over here?
Who spoke first?
The Meraglim,
That's the part.
then Yeshua B'Kol answered.
You already make dirty.
They made dirty. Yeshua, they answered. Then they spoke, and against they answered. So what was the chidush? So twice we find that Kolav and Yeshua answering. The first time they said one pasuk, Vayomer Vayas Kolav Esahom Al Moshe Vayomer Olo Nala V'Yirashnas K'Yochel Nuchla.
That's one.
And then later again they argued, and again they answered, and this time Yeshua and Kolav if Vayomru, and they say three psukim. What was Neschadish over here? And Taka said, what's Pshat Altiro? L'choyre Taka, it's scary. They didn't explain why Altiro. Taka, the next day when the Abisha said they can't conquer Eretz Yisrael, and you know what, stay in the desert for 40 years, and the Yidden said, oh, no, we'll go, now we'll go. He said, no, that's going to be dangerous. And Taka, those that went, got killed. So what's Taka the Pshat? Why are they saying, and what's Pshat Altim Roidu? The Abisha said to go to Eretz Yisrael. What's this general thing, Altim Roidu? Well, Rashi is answering that the pshat is like this: that they said a chidush dover. They said a chidush dover. If you're going to listen to the Eibishter, if you're not going to be moided in the Eibishter, then you have nothing to be scared. You're telling me you're scared. Why are you scared? Because you're not listening to the Eibishter. If you're timroid b'Hashem, you have a lot to be scared. But if you're not timroid in the Eibishter, you have nothing to be scared about. So if you're scared, is because you're married in Hashem. But that's the pshat that I should think. That's the chiddush of the answer. The chiddush of the answer is that the Meraglim had a taina. So the answer, al timroidu, vishuv al tiro. And to explain ki, Rashi asks, ki lachmeinu. They explained, noichlim kelech, what's the pshat noichlim kelechem? There says two pshatim. One is there's two ways. There's Sidura de Pas. You could say Noichlim Kechitim. No, Chitim is very hard. You have Chitim, you have to take it to a grinder, you have to grind it, you have to take to a baker, you have to bake it, you have to have an oven. If you give me a package of Chitim and tell me to eat it, it's not easy. I have to grind it and I have to bake it. I will give you a piece of bread. I give you a loaf of bread. Eat, wash your hands, macha moitzi, and ask. What are you telling me you're nervous? What are you nervous for? If the Eibishter will give it to us, it's time to shtick lechem. The Rebbe says, why is it give dafka lechem? Because he a steak. Why lechem? The Rebbe says because we know already. A child knows that before when they said basar shalo shaloikahoy, they wanted meat, they got punished for that. When they asked for bread, they didn't get punished because bread, person must have bread. So the Eibishter gave it to them, derechiba, the poni meidis. So if you're going to not be moited in the Malchus Shemayim, you have nothing to be scared of. Not stam that you're going to say that you're going to be the Melchama. When Yeshua Lepol went, it was a Melchama. Even Yericho, they made hakofes, they blew shofros. But the Rashi said in the beginning of Dvarim that had the Yid not sinned with the Meraglim, there would have been unbelievably miraculous. It would have been even more than Chamisha Mikem Revova Yerdoifu. It would have been when we say Echad Ela Revova Yerdoifu. Echad is Elef, it's still, but Echad is running against Elef. He's running behind them. But there's a war. Lachmeinu meint.
You don't know nothing.
Easy. Lachmeinu. We said yesterday. Shir kazayis b'chdechilus pras. Zoichel pas chitim. Meisa v'oichel belifton. It's going to be super duper easy. And why does it give lechem? Because lechem is something that the Eibishter gives b'ma'ord ponim. That's why he gave the example dafke from lechem.
They saw how easy it is.
See how
You
easy
have
it
to
is.
just take it and eat it.
Take it and eat it. That's why I give the
If you
example.
want
lechem.
you have to take it and teichen and bake it
Yeah.
and all this. If not, just take it away easy. It's bread.
Bread. So that's what they're saying. That's the Hemshech Rash. That what was the chiddush of their answer is because otherwise, what's the chiddush in their answer? Al b'shem terv aterod. But what do you mean? We are terod. And what's my fault that I'm timroidu? That going the Rashi says they must say that timroidu tiro is really a hemshech. If al timroidu, then you have nothing to be scared. You have nothing to be scared. The problem with Bibi Netanyahu, he's so scared. Everything is scared. Everything is like mahases. Everything mahases.
Why don't you have to go on Yaakov? Yes, it's
Yeah,
belongs
big.
to us. It's us, and we're going to do what we have to do. That's it.
He's the best, unfortunately, we have right now. But still,
Even that.
why are you so mahases? Al timroidu al tiro. And how easy is it to be? If you really trust in the Eibishter, it's going to be kilachmeinu heim. It'll be as easy as lechem, just like baked bread, and it'll be b'derech chibur b'mar ponim. So then the Rashi continues that what was that the Yidden are going to say, l'choyde, the goyim have a certain protection. So they have a tzeil that's protecting them. What's the tzeil that's protecting them? So we know that the Rashi said, we explained that when the Eibishter was talking to Abraham Avinu and Pisparam Sodim, he said that der Reviya Shuvuhena, Kilo Yisholem Avoina Moiri. That the Amoidi still, there's tzaddikim, there's good people, the Avedas are not so big. Eventually, the Avedas are going to become so big.
You mind to open the
Yeah, sure.
It's very hot over here. No, it's me.
Yeah, no, that's
You
good.
open it. There's time of the chunk of the web. Yeah,
Sorry.
no problem.
Isn't it?
Went all the way down to 74 degrees.
So that's the pshat. That it continues. He says that l'choyda kiloi shalom avoyna moidi. That there is avoyna moidi. So eventually they're going to all Rishayim. But right now they're still tzaddikim. So maybe there's a protection, just like we saw with Sdoim, that if there's 10 tzaddikim in Sdoim,
You will be protected.
they'll be protected. And Taka the Loshen is Tzilom, Loshen Rabbit. And the child knows from Sdoim that 1 or 2 tzaddikim are not going to protect Sdoim. The minimum they need is 10 tzaddikim. So therefore, Taka it says Tzilom. You might think they have a tzeil, Loshen Rabbit. Maybe there's at least 10 tzaddikim in the land that's going to protect them. So he's saying no, that it was Sholem Avoyna Moiri. Don't worry.
Wow.
It's nish geblieben af echad lo nisha. So the people are going to say to Kolav and Yeshua, Echata Yodeh. They're saying nish geblieben kein ein tzaddik. Lo nisha tzaddik echad bezdom. Echata Yodeh mizeh. You went into every house. Maybe in some basement over there in Yericho, sitting up a big Talmid Chochem and a big tzaddik, and he's a tzaddikal. So how do you know? So therefore, it's a beautiful chap that Rebbe says that. The Rebbe is saying like this. Gemara Taka says, "Tu pshatim a machloikis." If the Rashi fuses the two things together, he says, "Iyuv shahoya megan aleim." What's the pshat? we know that that Eov was a famous person, even if the child didn't learn the whole Gemara, how old he was. No, Eov, everyone knows Eov was a famous guy. Eov was a famous guy. 1 second here. So I'm going to read the Harakayim HaKodesh, so you'll read it inside. Eov was a famous guy. So the Rebbe is saying like this, that when it was Eov's Levaya, Mastama, everyone knew it's Eov's Levaya. He was a Ishtam v'Yoshor, and there was a whole Megillah written about him in the Torah. Chazal say he passed away when he was 140 years old. He has famous Bonim Abonas. Mastama, the ganze Welt gewusst, maybe even the Meraglim were by his Levaya.
Okay.
So given a Levaya, there was 500,000 people at least by the Levaya. It was a huge Levaya. So they knew who's the Levaya. It was Eov. Then there was a lot of Levias. They said that Eretz HaChelshim, wherever it went, there's Levias.
And Hashem make it as a miracle.
As Hashem made it as a miracle, and the Meraglim were right. So Kolev and Yeshua said, listen, I can't tell you every Levaya who was at that Levaya. We've the spies. We're not going to go to the front and say, who is this guy? He was a tzaddik, he was a Russian. They're trying to be inconspicuous. They're trying to be spies. But Ein Levaya Beisim is Sichos again Eov. So Eov, we know he was a tzaddik, and he died. So Mistama, all the other Levayas, you're complaining. You're saying that there was Levayas everywhere. Why are you looking at it in a negative way? Besides the fact that it's a positive that it was that they got distracted instead of looking at us, they were busy with the Levaya. So can doch sein that the emes time for the Levaya was that those people that died were all the kshedim. They were all the taki the word that the Eivish said ki loy shalom adoy avona mordi. Eventually there's gonna be not one tzaddik left in Zdoim. So the Yeshua B'Kolov said that's mistaber that all the people that were dying, they were the tzaddikim. The Eivish wanted to take them away, like he took Chanoich away before this man. The same thing, just like Eov is a tzaddik, and the Eivish took him away, so he can't protect. The same thing here, that that's the pshat. So the Maginim and Chazokim, the double ocean, it's one for Eov and one for the other. And Maginim and Chazokim is Keneged. Yeah, right.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah. So Kshedim Shabam. And that's why it's a double osh. And Rashi's saying, how do I know? Because Eov Shoya Megan Alayim died. So it's mistaber that all the other people that died were probably the Kshedim, and that's what when the whole land where people are dying, but probably that was the Eivish that is killing the Kshedim and taking them away so they can't protect them. Lamai, Rashi says that there's two pshat, but the Sort Tzilam, there's two ways of learning Sort Tzilam. One Sort Tzila means that the tzaddikim among the nations died, but there's a little bit of a doichik in it, because usually when we say a tzeil, it's Sort Tzilam, it went away, so it was here and now sword. It didn't here, it's there. But when a guy goes 6 feet under the ground, it's not sword. He was living. He was living on East 18 and J. Now he's living. He moved to Queens. Sort Tzilam is mashma that sale was here and now it went there. If you tell me the Kshedim died, they died. So therefore he says the Eibishter was protecting them. The Eibishter was just like the Eibishter said he's going to protect Nefesh Kol Chaya. Setanoich. The Eibishter was protecting them. So the Meraglim said that, how are we going to conquer? So you should have called it the Eibishter removed his protection. If the Eibishter removed his protection, it's a garnish. So once you're saying it's the Eibishter, it's verstandig. It's still a little bit of doichik, because to say the Eibishter is tzilom, to say the Eibishter is there, is there tzeil, kilo sois gemosten to say, it's a little bit. So therefore, the Rashi lights and also because we said that tzilom loshan rabbe, and if it's the Eibishter, it should have been sorat tzeil. The Eibishter is loshan yochid. Tzilo. Tziloi. Tzilom is loshan rabbe. Pshat, Rashi likes better to say tzilom means there were a lot of tzaddikim there. and they protected the people in Canaan. So the Eibishter made sure that they should all die, Bepedek Echod, Iyuv, and all the tzaddikim died. And then Knak, they made Levias in 40 days. So it removed it. A little bit of a doichik. There is Sar means it went away from here and went there. Because the tzaddikim were protecting, so they removed them. Shem wasn't a gave. They went 6 feet under. They went here, there. They remove their protection. So can grace a kasha this nish, but still you can ask a kasha that what do you mean? What do you mean sar tzila? So therefore the Rashi gives a second shot with davar acher it's tzila shalmakim. But tzila shalmakim is a doichik because it says tzilom, and for the Eibishter it's not shach to say tzilom, and also it's a little bit doichik to say the Eibishter is their tzeil. So therefore the Rashi gives two pshat. That's what Rashi gives two pshat. There was a few nekudas that the Rebbe later spoke about in the Yena Shal Torah. More the Tifa in the Yena Shal Torah. But before we get to that, if we get to that tonight, I just wanted to read inside a Sheina Shtickle and the Oira Chaim HaKodesh, and when the Rebbe's take on this Shtickle and the Oira Chaim HaKodesh. If we get a chance, we'll get back to this nekuda about the two shot in the Sor Tzilim. Chaim is going back to the Inyan Kilachmeinu Heim. Chaim says, "Kilachmeinu Heim tam shoytz adov b'loshon lechem is bor al pi divrei anshe emes." We said, like, what's a pshat lechem? What's a pshat the goyim is like lechem? So we said before pshat that lechem means it's very easy to eat and also b'moir ponim. Oh, Mr. Lieberman, thank you for joining us.
You're going to eat it, but we help to see a lakut.
Very good.
Like you still not say, eat it, you'll feel good. You know, eat the lechem.
Yeah. Eat the lechem, it's strong.
See the lakut.
There are times there's different pshat, but I like your pshat. Ms. Lehman, you want to read with us together? You can look inside here. This piece, it starts from Oira Chaim.
It's on Zoom, right?
Yeah.
That's just, I'll continue watching what I drive.
Yeah, say it again. Sagt der Oira Chaim, Kilach Meinu Heim, Tam Shoitzi, Aloshim B'Loshon Lech. Why is he saying that the goyim are so easy to conquer like a piece of bread? He's brought al pi divrei anshe emes. Shachok rebbemayis Hashem Osher ba'kovas abalachai shekol chayot kol v'shoytz shoya Hashem yochel asa shizkam balachai b'lo ma'ich. Why do they wish to make that we have to eat every 4 hours, 5 hours, every 6 hours we have to eat? It would be beautiful if they wish to make us like robots, and you don't have to eat.
Somebody stay in the street with the sign. It says, "I didn't eat for 2 days. Please give me something." So I open the door. So how do you do it? Let me do also open my mouth and I eat something.
So what's the answer? Im kocha hoya Hashem oisa hoya Yisrael nifim lastik atoyr vel mitzvahs v'gam in noim bekam ma'isa bil tagunim shavunim etzarech hamicha v'kokola. So you see mataritz be'atzmi kirotz Hashem lazak Yisrael b'tei ag mitzvahs sherubim tloim b'minei ma'ich v'amishta atrumas v'ama'isa schala mitzvah shmita shebezri v'shebecharish shebektzir v'kadoyma. Said if you would have asked me, the Rechaim said, I would say the Eibishter made that a person has to eat because with the food you could do a lot of mitzvahs. You make a dough, you give a piece to the kohen. If you're not going to eat, what do you mean? So what does the kohen need your challah for? Anyway, it says, we have to give a piece. It has to be a piece for me, a piece for the kohen. So that's the union of eating. Okay. Avo. Chachmei Emes said a very tam l'shvach to explain why we need to eat. Kikol ikra nivroim mailim b'kodesh b'soida birurim shalatzutz hagedusha. That when we eat, we're elevating sparks of kedusha. Hinehein mizbarnim b'mtzos hamay cholam. Ba'atan etzutz hagedusha yikor alechem im Hashem. Gam omru kikol nivra yesh b'y nitzitz kodesh ufil nivraim bilta toirim. Anoshim rishoyim. V'gam asamachma marosha. Ein behem she'ein b'chilek kechiyunu sheb'chinas hatoiv shu dover she'amidoy she'zulos lo yekayim kol dover. There's always going to be something godly in everything. If there's nothing godly in here, this thing is not going to exist. Or be part of nitzas achiyunim imkoim is battle v'yevet kol habinyan. That if you're going to take away the godly spark from something, it's going to fall apart. וגם אמרו כבחינת הקדושה בטבע להמשיך מיני כאבן שיבש. That Chazal said, this is again Chacham Emes, that there is the idea of gravity, the idea of a magnet pulls. So the kedusha pulls out the sparks of kedusha that are everywhere. It says by the story of Hashem Mechai, he looked at that nasty guy, that Russia, that told the whole world that he said about the Romans. So what's the pshat? He looked at him and he turned him into a pile of balls. How'd that happen? Because the eyes of Hashem Mechai were like magnets. So he pulled out the nitzitz of the key that was in that Russia, and then he fell apart. There was nothing left from him. So there's two ways of taking out the nitzitz sakadusha. There is a way of taking out the nitzitz sakadusha that if you eat something and you take the energy into you, so you elevate the nitzitz sakadusha. And then there's another way, something which is not kosher. So by staying away from it, so you're taking out the sparks of kedusha from it. You think that they're like bread, there's nothing left in them. The nitzitz Hashem already went out from them. The Eibush is with us, so we're like a magnet. We're pulling out all the nitzutz kedusha. There's nothing left in them. There's no reason to be scared of them, he says. There's no point to be scared of them. We already pulled out the nitzutz kedusha. So the truth is that we're trying to understand. What do you mean we're saying about the goyim that they're like our bread? What do you mean by like a bread? We say sort tzilam, their shadow went away. What does it mean? What does it mean their shadow went away? What does it mean their shadow went away? So the Chaim is not explaining it. So the Rebbe says that alpi pnimius, there is eating, which is a purify something but pnimius, and then there is the shadow, which is a purifying something from the outside. So the Yeshua and Kolov said we took out all the sparks of kedusha from Canaan. There's nothing going to be left there. If the sparks of kedusha that you're talking about are bepnimius, they're like our bread. We already took everything out. And if you're talking about the shadow which is around it, also we took it all out already. So there's nothing to be scared of. There's nothing to be scared of. Halavai, we see it today. Just like this is the Chumash from tomorrow. Yeah. So Halavai, that's what we have to know. Just like Yeshua and Kolof said to the Meraglim. The Meraglim was scared. They said it's very scary. We are dealing with the whole world is against you. The whole world is against you. It's scary. So we know that the answer is Hashem al timroidu v'atam al tiro. Like Rashi says, you have a lot to be scared of. But if you're not going to rebel against Hashem, you have nothing to be scared of. The nations of the world as antagonistic to the Jews, they're easy to conquer like bread. Just like eating a piece of bread that's already baked, it's easy. And the Eibush is giving it to us just like he gave us bread, the ma'or ponim. It'll be very easy. But it has to be that we have our trust in Hashem. And then we have nothing to fear because we know that Sor Tzila Ma'alayim, that number one, there's lachmenu, number two, sortzilam alayim. And the main thing is Hashem itanu. So therefore, al tinon, there's nothing to be scared. So the same thing today, they're showing us that yes, there's nothing to be scared. We have to put our trust in Hashem and do the right thing, and then the Eibishter will help us, and we'll have nothing to be scared.
One of those things that we know the truth, and no matter what we're gonna say, then we're gonna twist it on us. So we just have to be quiet and just, okay, this is,
We have to conquer.
yeah.
To conquer, not hesitate. We have to conquer, not hesitate. Okay, shkoyach for joining us.
Thank you,
Shkoyach. Shkoyach. Have a great week.
Amen.
Amen.
See you Sunday.
We have to conquer our own little goy, and then we should be able to conquer the goy. After we conquer the goy that's inside of us, we'll conquer the goy that's outside of us. Hatzlacha. We'll get mitzvah Shem when we get a chance. We'll finish off the sikh another chance. Okay, a gute Nacht.